Alrighty, fellas. Barry, you get off the hook for today. I really don't want to just review one of your old videos. You haven't put anything out. You're on live talking your stupid bullshit.
I don't want to know about Barry, Beamer, whatever. How do you go on vacation and be on PlayStation Live for hours at a time? I can't think of a time this month where you've been gone for more than a day offline.
He's saying that because Mako and them always say they go on vacation. It's more. I'm supposed to believe that Barry was on a beach somewhere, but didn't record it. Look at my haters. Look what I'm doing well. I'm supposed to believe that shit.
I told you you're making me tons of money. Look, we're down here doing this. I mean, he's so full of shit. And Barry's gonna say, well, this is what he'll say. Well, I didn't want anybody to know he's gone, so he robbed our house. No, but when you got home, you would have put the shit on that you was gone. So
you would have done the videos that you done while you're down there.
And listen, I wanna make something clear that dude can't seem to get it to his head. Nothing you say matters. It's not going to upset us, because the fact of the matter is, in order for what you say to upset anybody, they have to feel a certain way towards you. They have to care about you. They have to think that you're something, that you matter. And here's the facts, dude. You don't matter. One day you'll be dead. The world won't even notice you're gone. They'll never even know you was here. The only person that will notice that you ever existed is your son. That's it. Your daughters will celebrate. Your family will celebrate.
We're gonna invite your brother and sister over. Mako down fast.
The truth and the fact of the matter is, you're 65 years old or what the fuck ever, 61, whatever, and you don't matter. You're not going to leave a mark on this earth. In order for what you say to upset me, you would have to matter. And the fact is, you don't matter. You're dismissed. You don't matter. You're nothing. Nothing. You matter to one person, Ryan Beamer. That's it. I mean, you haven't did anything for this world besides take. And as a result of that, you have 75 calls, but you have no human
connection.
And that's what matters on this planet and on this world and on this earth is human connection. The connection you have with your family, your friends. Not 75 bus buckets sitting in my yard, my legacy that your kid is not interested in doing anything with. Listen, there's 2 months before winter's here, before cold weather hits. This is another year that went by when Beamer and Son Garage, more broken promises, ain't did shit. You're going to do this, going to do that, ain't did shit. Sad, man. What a pitiful life.
And unlike Barry, over the next couple months, my life's changing for the better, Barry. Can you say the same?
Here in a little bit, Barry. Here in a little bit. How about look at you go. You got one of these? No, you ain't had one of these in a long time, Barry. You ain't had one of these since the one that you, no means yes type situation that you like to be in your life. You know what I mean?
I don't have more than that.
It's a hard R. I can say that on YouTube, right?
I'll be one of the people that I'll be one of the people that Barry talks shit about.
Because we all know that you're the type of dude that no means yes. You're not above the hard R.
And look at him.
That's probably the problem with your daughters, because their moms probably said no, and you said yes. And
all right, enough of Barry. We're gonna get into Rich. Okay. This dingy bastard. Don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Hey, Dad, what did you do before I was born?
I'm not an expert on anything, but as far as detailing cars, I'm as close to an expert as the next guy. From when I got out in '98 till 2005, that's what I did at Deep Clean Auto Detail. I detailed cars, installed auto accessories, and changed glass. Did auto glass. I say 05. It might have been 03. Oh, anyway, a long time. And then when I was 16, I worked there too. But anyway, never, folks, read the back of your wax. It tells you right on it, do not do in direct sunlight. You never wax a car, buff a car in direct sunlight. Ever, 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 ever. This dumb son of a bitch says it gives you a nicer shine. He is a fucking dipshit, dude. Just let me guess. Rich is right, and the manufacturers that manufacture the waxes and polishes are all idiots and don't know what the fuck they're doing when they're manufacturing the shit. So their warnings not to do it in the sun are just full of shit. What a fucking dumb shit. It was deep clean carpets, and then went to deep clean auto detail. And in that time, I also did fucking janitorial work at night for
a month, maybe.
That's 2 solid days because it's not just that. We'll talk about this when this is done.
Alright, so I got some stuff changing in my life that I'm actually gonna mean something to somebody, Barry.
I mean, you're a dumb kid. This dude's had an old lady for. I mean, you're.
I promise you mine won't be buying me shit for Father's Day.
Now keep in mind, his trunk's not directly in the sunlight. This right here would be somewhat acceptable, except you would not want to do the top of that car and that fucking driver's side until the sun was off of it. You would not want to do that. The problem is the wax will bake into your paint.
He did this for 7 hours and didn't finish the car.
7
hours.
Listen, in all fairness, to buff a car takes time. To buff it right. Because you have to wash it. You have to make sure it's all the way dry. Then you have to fucking buff it. Then you have to wax it, get swirl marks out. I mean, unless you're like my buddy Steve Highsmith and God rest his soul, Bill Wagner, they're professional buffers. I mean, they can buff a car and not have to wax it, get swirl marks out. But me, I have to go back over and wax it, get swirl marks out. I buff a car usually. Not a professional buffer by no means. I didn't do a lot of buffing. I mean, they had Bill Wagner and Steve Highsmith for that. And then if you're using a wool pad, folks, you need a spur. You need something to clean the pad with while you're buffing. You can't just take that pad and buff that whole car with one pass. You have to clean that, keep fluffing that wool pad up. And that's what it looks like. It looks like a spur. You're holding your hand, it looks like something a cowboy.
I got a question. He wants to talk about professional paint. Why does it look like the roof has tiger stripes in it?
He is out of his mind, dude.
Look at the roof. The roof looks like it has tiger stripes. There's lines going front to back, and there's lines going side to side.
I think this dude huffs too much Krylon gold. That's what I think happened. I mean, I'm serious. I think right now he's sitting there with a fucking freezer bag in his hand and some Krylon gold or silver just huffing away.
He blames, listen to this, folks, he blames all these haters for picking up a pack of smokes and smoking again. So now, everybody that's made videos or content about this man has went over to his house, held a cordless hole puncher to his head, and said, pick up that fucking pack of Marlboros.
He ain't smoking no marbles, I'll promise you that. He's either doing rollies or he's smoking a cheap second.
I tried that, Jeff. They base it on how much your house is worth.
Somebody's house being foreclosed.
Under any house up here under 600,000.
Now I want to say something.
Listen, I think I know this man's tell. When he looks to his left, when he's giving you an answer and he looks to his left, he's telling a lie. It's not just him. I think that's most people. I think left is lie, right is the truth. Right is recalling, left is trying to make something up.
He plays with his beard, if you notice.
That's the tell. I'm talking about when he's lying. You know what I mean? When he's trying to come up with a lie on
the sun baking into the paint.
Listen to this.
It actually makes it a little more pliable.
No.
So in other words, it brings it a little bit more shinier than
No, it does. You will ruin your paint, dude.
Listen.
You are out of your mind.
Yeah, I'll pause this, you guys, because I want to say something.
No, it's not driving yet. It needs a transmission.
Calm down, Barry.
External transmission coolant line.
Stop buffing shit and get the shit moving first.
Listen.
Delbert.
Listen. Dad, when I got my Corvette, what was the first thing you said I was going to have to do to it?
Buff it.
Okay. And you said we would have to do it where or at what time?
In the shade.
In the alley or at dark, right? Or getting close to evening.
Whatever the sun's off of it. Wherever the sun's off of it.
Now,
you not want to read the bottle, folks. It's right on the bottle.
What happens when you buff a car in the sun, for those that don't know?
That it can bake, not just buff, wax. Wax, period. If you wax a car in the sun, it can bake onto your paint. It will ruin your fucking paint. Think about dough. Putting dough in the oven. That's basically you putting wax on your car. Wax is the dough. Your car is, it's okay to have it warm, but when the sun rays are baking down on it, it's baking it.
The UV rays.
The UV rays are baking that shit. Now, if you're going to do a foot-by-foot section, go ahead and give it a shot, but I wouldn't advise it. It tells you right on the bottle, not in the sun. Do not do this.
And do you do little areas or panel by panel? When you're about,
You do small.
See, I
areas.
don't know these things.
You would do a small area, like the top of a fender, then the side of a fender, then a quarter of the hood, a quarter of the hood, a quarter of the hood, a quarter of the hood. And you go
But the
by any
transmission
body
fluid,
lines or
it'll
curves.
actually just spray up all
You have to
along
be
the
so careful,
firewall.
man.
There's a pinhole in it.
hey, I do want to tell Dad something real quick. This is a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit long kind of video, and I don't want to go find his other live and find this part. But he's talking to some guy, right? Commented. In order to do a rear main seal, right? All you have to do is pull the inspection cover off. It's right there.
He's out of his fucking that's not any engine. No, he's full of shit. Anybody that's got basic auto mechanic knowledge knows better than that.
He's like,
Now, even if you have a one-piece rear main seal, let's say it's a small box Chevy, at the very least, you're going to pull your transmission out and pull your flywheel because you have to unbolt it and pull it off.
well, he's
If
like,
you have a two-piece, it's under your cap, your main cap, your rear main cap. I mean,
he said that some YouTuber told him that all you do is pull your inspection cover off.
they might have, but they're fucking with you.
Same person though that told him the viscosity
But I just
equals
changed
compression.
What the fuck does your inspection cover have to do with
wire
your
that
main seal?
was
Your inspection cover goes to your
snapped in
transmission.
half, and it starts on its own now. It doesn't have to be primed and pumped and all that other crap in order to run.
That car will never run right. Ever in a million years. I'll bet every car that I have on it, I'll bet my house on it, if it's got two separate pistons, valve relief and flat top, it's never
Well,
run right.
another YouTuber told him to
Ever.
rebuild it.
Huh?
Another YouTuber told him to rebuild this engine. And I want to point something out. I must get forwards a little bit. I want to point something out. Listen, he's already basically rebuilt that engine. Here's why. He's had your oil pan off. He's had the heads off. He's had all that shit off. Front timing cover. He could have pulled the engine, put it on the engine stand, pulled the crank out, pulled the rods out, put all 8 new pistons in it, put new head gaskets in it, put a new oil pan gasket on it, new timing chain in it.
And look, those cars are the easiest ones to pull a motor out of.
Exactly.
The mounts are right in the front. So unbolt your belt housing, put your two front bolts, and rip the motor out.
Why do you just have a resting bitch face all
Somebody
the
said,
time?
he mentioned us and said we're fast lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idle's a little bit too low.
So fast lane.
That's why it's doing it shaking a bit.
We're personalities.
Probably
We're
needs
his
good tuning,
personalities, bud.
We're the fucking
Like I
Riddler
said,
from
those
Batman.
front
Right.
wires are
He's the Riddler.
probably
And we're
the
just his alter egos.
originals from the last owner. And that car's been here for a couple of years. Actually, I got the olds before I got this.
And another thing, dude, if you was a personal caregiver, a PCG, you are less than a CNA. A CNA is not allowed to administer meds. Now, you can help them count them out, but as far as you giving somebody insulin, you're admitting to a felony, dude.
He's so smart.
I mean, that's the thing, you're so full of shit.
He's so smart.
He was associated with the mob, and I had to give him his insulin. Well, if you gave that man a shot, you committed a crime.
It's hot.
A personal caregiver is basically a personal assistant for somebody that's elderly or disabled.
I can feel this has got to be wet sanded.
Careful, guys. Fucking, we better watch making reviews about this man or messing with this man. He's connected with the mafioso. We'll all have hits on us. I'll make 2 hits I've had on me. Hey, Rich, please don't call him, man. I don't want to look over my shoulder both directions.
Man, you ain't qualified to be giving anybody insulin.
Oh, just like
Take insulin, I know. I mean, you ain't qualified.
water retention causes you to suffocate, you guys, if you lay in bed a certain way.
He's a fucking listen, dude, and that's another thing. Water retention can be caused by several things, but most of the time it's congestive heart failure, unless you have liver issues. But the worst thing you can do is smoke, if that's the case. I mean,
Hey, Dad, you still smoke?
fuck no. I quit smoking fucking 3 months before your mom passed.
I want to say something, though. Hey, Rich. At least when my dad's feet swell up, I tell him he's got elephantitis all the time. You don't get mad at me and punch me in the mouth.
They swell because of congestive heart failure, though. They swell because I have diabetes and I get sores on my feet sometimes, and it's an infection, basically. It's a plague. Or gout. I end up with gout.
Yeah, but I've said shit like that to you. You know, you don't get hit. Can you imagine that step kid he had? Can you imagine having him as a dad? I mean, fuck.
He is too selfish to be a dad. I mean, he's not that mature. When you're a parent,
What are you gonna be saying about me in a couple months?
Okay.
Tell you what, he better buy me a fucking club for that.
Who the fuck is gonna fucking... Who's gonna buy that property for anything? Look at that motherfucking shithole. I mean...
I know, guys. We have the Rolls Royce of properties.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, we don't have shit just cluttered up, piled up wood and shit. I mean, come on. I understand you burn wood, but you split it and you stack it, man. That's not...
Shady spot.
I find it fucking funny as fuck, though. Look at his shirt. What's it say? Star Wars, right? People call him Jabba. They call him Jabba. He's
That's
wearing
promotion.
Star Wars.
That's promotion, folks. He's promoting himself.
I didn't buy patch panels.
Oh, this is good.
I actually did it with sheets of metal.
Galvanized.
The one door on the back on the passenger side's got to be ripped off and redone again because it came out like shit.
Yeah, you fucking think? Barry does better patchwork.
Folks, don't use galvanized. I mean, come on. Now, to be honest, some old cars had galvanized in them. I mean, you have to be careful. I mean...
Oh, man. He's going to speak about it. He looks like a dog. Like, now it looks like he's taking a shit. Oh.
No, it's got a carport. Actually has, well, one's falling apart because that's got my mother's PT Cruiser in it. And the other one is in the back of the property behind the Oldsmobile.
Is all original numbers matching?
Right next to the trailer.
You know, that adds $1,000 to the value.
Who's the buster? Joe.
All right, Twitch? Jeez, I was about to have a seizure.
Comments are pissing him off.
Oh, it's a bomb. We're gonna die.
Now, I keep trying to find a shady spot because
Listen.
57 is literally in the sun. But the good thing about it is when the paint is in the sun, and you use the polisher, if you use it right, it'll make it just a little more shiny because it's actually making it like baked on paint. You know?
Dude, listen, you're full of shit. Read the back of the bottle, dude. You're a fucking moron, dopey. I mean, Jesus Christ. You look like one of the fucking... I'm about done with this dude. I mean, he's an idiot. He argues with people when he's wrong. I mean...
You know who he reminds me of?
I'm going to tell you what. If I caught him with my kid in the car speeding, bragging about earlier, the only time I go fast is when I'm driving little kids around. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Hey, you know who he reminds you of? With always whining about his problems like Barry?
What's that?
Eeyore.
I mean, I want to know where the fucking Snow White is. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You got Snow White laying carport too to sleep? I mean...
No, she ran away about 15 years ago.
Yes, Barry's one of the he's going to bear the magic apple, wake her up from his apple tree.
What I'm surprised about is the areas where the headlights are.
A lot.
They're not rotted out. Like I said, there's a lot of parts on this car that are not ready to be, you know, like repatched. There's nothing wrong with the floors. The floors are solid. The frame rails are solid. The trunk pan is solid.
I'm betting the floors have scale
It's
on
just
them.
the dog legs in the back and the wheel wells.
Severe scale. Hit it with a grinder and disappear.
And it's only down towards the bottom where the floor meets the dog legs. That's it.
Which, folks, you can buy all these parts that he's
So
talking
it's
about
not
making.
rotted in past those sill pans. You know, the things that go in the bottom.
Sill pans? What the fuck is a sill pan, Delbert?
It's an easy patch. I mean, you can literally do it even with 18 gauge steel.
Here in a minute, he's going to tell you it's a great idea to weld in metal
away.
that's twice as thick as the metal you're welding
use
to.
galvanized, but you have to actually grind off enough so that way you can weld it. You don't want that shit going in your lungs, man. You don't want to breathe
This
that
is
in.
a serious PSA, folks. And I'm not
Dude,
talking about this. Listen,
not.
if you Googled welding galvanized, if you think I'm doubting you, you doubt me at all. It is not a good idea to weld galvanized. But if you do weld galvanized, even if you grind the coating off, Google it. The metal still heats up. Think about when you're welding something, the whole thing gets extremely hot, so it still puts off gas. You can grind all the coating, unless you grind all the coating all the way off the whole panel.
Why would you?
But even then,
but why would you go buy 18 gauge galvanized steel when you could go cut the roof off of a fucking car at a scrapyard and have all the metal you need?
because somebody probably gave him 20 sheets of it, dude.
He used it on his fucking camper roof that he's put 2x4s on. He's gonna wonder why the camper fucking collapses.
He's gonna be pulling down the fucking road and the roof's just gonna blow off and fucking kill the whole family. I mean, you're gonna think a fucking tornado hit that son of a bitch going down I-70, whatever the fuck up there. I mean, don't weld galvanized, man.
Don't be an idiot.
And if you do, wear a respirator that
Well,
fits.
worst case scenario, the
If you have a
camper that I
respirator on
back
and you can
there,
still
the
smell what's
camping
around you,
trailer.
it's not doing what it's supposed to
If
do.
I don't get around to fixing it, I can always get a dumpster and rip all the shit
When I
off
worked for
of
the
it,
union,
resurface it,
they
or
give
use
you
it
a
as
smoke test with the respirator.
car trailer.
And you would
You
know,
know?
because that smoke will fuck choke you the fuck out if it ain't sealed.
He's gonna rip the roof off that camper, just like Barry's gonna pull them engines out of that fucking motorhomes.
I was gonna rip the rip off for it. I thought he had it fixed.
He's gonna rip the roof off of it, the walls off, and make a car trailer.
Dude, it's not
Just look
wide
at
enough.
what
What
I
are you on? Your
accomplished
people
on
cruiser?
the driver's side
I mean,
fender up top, man. That's like really.
He's gonna get some-
crack me up. That Oldsmobile never fit on it.
He's gonna go get some fucking.
Really?
He's gonna go get some rattle can Krylon paint flames down there.
I wish it didn't come out so, like, I wish that the damn stuff underneath wasn't so freaking full of garbage and gunk, It sat outside for a long time.
Oh, so it did what a car is supposed to do. I can't get over the fucking t-shirt, dude.
Told you advertisement, dude.
Every time I fucking see that, I chuckle inside.
Now I was thinking about shit.
What really bugs me about him is he's arrogant, and when he's wrong, he argues.
27 minutes,
Exactly.
huh?
He's not bright enough to even use
I
Google.
thought it would have been
Oh,
like
use Google,
4
man.
hours and 27 minutes. That's what it feels like.
I'll bet. You used to be on your feet for 2 hours. You probably been.
Dad, what was your first job?
Belling
Yeah,
it
you busted.
when I was 13 years old.
His was stacking
it.
Huh?
His was
I
stacking
bailed
it.
and stacked it. When I say belling hay, that's what that involves. I mean, bail it. You got some on a tractor. I never drove the tractor and bailed it. I was the one that would be behind it after it was bailed, throwing it up on a trailer, or be the one on the trailer, stacking it on the trailer, taking it to the barn, throwing it in the barn, stacking it in the barn.
My first job was
I think I got a nickel a bell.
It does, huh? Wonder why it's coming up here.
my first
2
job
hours
was
and 28 minutes, unless they're
Ford.
lagging behind.
Bowen Ford.
The timer says 2 hours and
My
28
first
minutes.
room.
paying job was
44
a Hardee's.
seconds.
Well, minimum wage was what, Dad?
$3 an hour, $3 an hour, something like that. Some of these fucking assholes whining today about.
No, what I got is the
paying
Patriot.
$17 an
I
hour.
got rid of the Ram. The
Listen
Ram
to this.
had multiple problems.
Did you work
Recertified
on it?
car, my ass. Had valve guide issues, first off. Second of all, when they brought the car in to fix the valve guide issues, they broke all the plug-ins for the throttle body. Somebody had a shit fit,
So
and
zip
it
tie.
wouldn't allow me to even start the damn truck
Oh,
or put it in gear or anything.
You're full of
So
shit.
they had to tow it back to the
You are
dealership
full of shit.
and fix that.
Another
frickin'
story.
problem. I could see the tabs were broken off. It looked like somebody deliberately
What
did
the
it.
fuck is it? Was I plugged in or
So
not?
after I got it back, I went to
You
go
couldn't plug them in?
up to my brother's house, which is about 40 minutes away from me, and I wound up pulling over in a ShopRite parking lot, and the temperature was already all the way up to hot, like head gasket kind of thing. And I took the
Hey, Dad, what's
Dude, I promise you, dude, you are a used car salesman's fucking nightmare, dude. I promise he is, dude. Because he won't get the as-is buyer beware shit. I promise you don't, dude.
What's pre-certified have to do with anything?
That's just something that dealers say. Basically, they're saying, look, we brought the car in, we checked it out, it's an awesome car, you know. But they still have you either get a warranty with the car or you sign an as-is paper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it only works two ways.
The radiator cap off once it cooled down, and it looked like orange upchuck. So it was already had a head gasket problem.
Well, you do
so
know.
Pre-certified my behind.
Did you put the head gasket on it?
You do know that new cars can take orange antifreeze, right?
Oh,
I mean,
hang on. I'm glad he brought up a head gasket because. Ready for this, Dad? Do you put the head gasket on the head and then put the head on the engine?
fuck no. Who the fuck would do that? The dials are on the engine. If they're in your head, you can just pull them out of the head and put them back in the engine. Well, yeah, no shocker, dude. I mean, and he'll probably argue with the motherfucker. Nope, you put it on the head first. He'll argue with you about it, I promise.
That's
He's a true asshole.
He's had to replace the head gaskets twice.
Jesus Christ, man.
Did we learn anything?
Gentlemen like this guy can't learn because they won't stop. They think they fucking know.
I don't know what the
They
hell
say, I don't think I know what. Yes, you
I don't
do.
think it's Krylon. I think it's...
Listen, you guys. Something I've learned in my 25-year experience is
Ain't shit.
nothing at all. But the day you stop learning is the day you die.
No, it's not Krylon.
You can learn something every day. You just open your your ears and shut your mouth.
Hell, I'm even going to give some Barry Beamer some
Well,
credit here. I'm going to show I'm doing it.
If you look at
I'm not a big Ford guy,
picture of
but
the
I knew that in
69
Cleveland had the timing chain covers
you have
casting
the
in the
early
motor.
version of it.
But I didn't
where
realize
it
that 400 had the same
brown
thing, and I didn't realize how you tell them two apart is one
When
has
I
a
got
fucking
done with it, it had
intrusion
a
on top of the
black
cover and the
top.
other don't, like a little cast line.
Yeah,
Barry
rust
Beamer
all
something.
in.
I mean, I even learned something from
that's
that
the one.
fucking fucktard. You know what I mean? I learn all the time. I double checked it on Google before I accepted it, but he's right.
Because last thing Dad wants to do is accept advice from Barry Beamer.
But if you're right, you're right. I mean, try to keep it real as much as I can.
So yeah, the funny thing is, like, the stuff that I want
Funny
to show
thing
you
is, you got a
guys,
Star Wars shirt on to
it
call
will
you
not
out.
do it any justice on camera. Because unless you're literally scoped in right on, you know, whatever I'm looking at, you're not going to see it the same way. It's always going to look like, well, it looks pretty good damn well anyway, you know? No, it don't.
I promise.
There's a lot of
I
work
won't
that
say
still
that.
has to be done on this, you know? I'm all over the place with the car because I get bored with sitting in one area or it gets too hot. And then I move on to another area.
And usually when people buff a car, they go in a pattern. They would do.
Well, what I can
they would do
afford,
the hood,
yeah.
Then they would pick a fender. Then they would do that same side door, that same side other door,
Well, what
the
I
same
could
quarter,
afford.
then the trunk.
But
then
the thing is, they don't even make this color in
Listen.
regular, you know, car paint.
Liar.
You can't get turquoise anymore. Nobody makes that. And this is what they call deep dark turquoise.
That's all.
Go for it.
Man, did somebody drop you on your head when you was a little kid or something? I mean, I am fucking confused. What the fuck do you mean? Listen, man, they can make you any color you want. All you have to do is, if you can take a small sample with you, a small body panel, I don't know, an ashtray door if you're in an old car, if your dash is the same color as the outside, and they can scan that and make you any color you want. They have a machine. It looks like a thermometer, like with a red laser dot, and they hit it on your car, and it tell you what color formula it is, and they can make that shit up. He's an idiot. You can get turquoise, you can get any color. He's just a dipshit. Let me guess, they make it and put it in a spray can, but you can't get a fucking paint store to mix it for you. Come the fuck on. Who are you fucking fooling?
Why not just take your rattle can in there, have them spray it on a piece of cardboard and scan
Right,
it?
you could take, exactly, you could take the rattle can lid in there, and they could scan that color and come up with a formula and mix you that color.
I mean, I'm only 25, and I thought that off the top of my head.
Jesus, dude, you're an idiot. That's just an excuse.
Huh? What they saying? Oh, they saying I look like Jabba. I better not read this.
I bet he's sounding them out.
P-A-E-I-O-U.
They're not done yet. You guys are like way too fast on things. I'm up in my age. I slow things down a bit.
Years. What do you mean?
The only time I'm speeding is when I'm doing, you know, my job at
See,
work.
I'd like to smack you in the fucking head right now.
You see the energy for that. This is
I
all
wish your
slow
fucking parents
mo.
would see you say that
That's
shit.
the way I do it, you know? I take my time with it.
Well, it's got his company logo, man. We should
I
just
said,
maybe
I
we
rushed
should send
around
that
in the
to
beginning when
company.
I started. YouTube, and it wasn't working towards my benefit. It was working against me. So, you know, I had people sitting there telling me that they were giving me advice, and I wasn't paying attention to it.
Listen,
But
if
I am
someone
paying
gives you
attention
advice
to it.
and
I
you
pay
got
attention
it,
to
you
everything.
Google it. Today you have Google.
It's just
Or
a
you just
matter
say,
of whether
okay, I'll have
it's
to try that.
wired
You be
information.
polite about it. You say, cool, I'll check
the
it
time.
out. I might have to give that a try.
You know, maybe they might have to repeat it down the
Whether
line
you plan to
again
do
the
it or
second
not,
time
you be polite
because
about it.
Don't be a
maybe
dick.
I went on to another thing, you know, instead of working on the same thing. So that's why, like, this time around, I'm not into, you know, I'm doing wet
There's Sabino
sanding
this
and
time around.
machine
You know what,
glaze
this
and
time.
car wax right now, and that's what I'm going to stick to until it's done.
Yeah, who gives a
Then
fuck?
I'm going to
Can't
work
be down
on
the
the
road.
oil pan
I mean,
and the rear main seal,
another berry.
then the brakes,
Put windshield
and
wipers
that'll
on
be
cars
done.
that never touch the road.
Then I got to put in the new grill. I have
Maybe we
to
should
fix
take a
the
buffer out there to your
turn signal bar,
GS.
and I have to get some light sockets for it
The white with
because
buff on it. Like your
the
dark.
ones that were in it,
A
only
lot of
one
that
of them
paint with
worked.
buff if it wasn't.
Then I have to get a metal
fucking
plate
Texas
for
car
the
and
passenger
fucking
side
got baked
wheel well.
crack.
Okay, these guys like to talk shit. Like, he was talking shit about Dodge Darts. And what was it?
Dusters.
What'd he say, though?
You don't like them. They're
No.
ugly as fuck.
He misspoke. I can't remember what the fuck he said.
Oh no. He. I know what it was. Now let me think. If I word this wrong, I'll correct myself. His words was along the lines of, Dodge had the Dart, and they wanted to something. How did he put it? Something
Revamp the
about-
body so they went
Yeah,
to
revamp
Duster.
the body, so they went to Duster. Plymouth and Dodge was different back then. It was two separate
Okay.
fucking entities.
I'm gonna
dude.
give Mr. Dumbass a fucking history lesson.
I mean,
Okay. You have the Dodge Dart. Okay. You have the Swinger and it's the Dart. Then you have the Dart Sport.
still Dodge.
Yeah, still Dodge. It's a Duster body though. In 73, 74, and so on. You know what the Sport was a spawn off of? The Dodge Demon. In I think 72, somebody correct me wrong, in 72 they canceled the Demon because nobody liked the name Demon. You know? So then they transferred that to they call it the Dodge Dart Sport. All it is basically a Demon, just a different name.
And then Plymouth had Duster, Gold Duster. They might have had a Silver Duster, maybe. at
And
one time.
let's get on straight with
I
that.
don't know about
The
that.
Valiant turned into the Duster.
That's a Plymouth. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. There you go.
That's why the first years, I'm pretty damn sure I'd have to go watch fucking Roadkill again and hear Freiberger talk about it. But I think the first couple ones said the Valiant Duster. I think is how they were named. They weren't quite called a Duster yet. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me.
Because you could see the tire right from the grill. The driver's side, you can't. So what I'm thinking is I'll take the piece of metal out from the driver's side
Where the fuck did that go?
and I'll cut it out, you know, like I'll trace it for the passenger side. And all you got to do is pretty much flip it over the other direction. You know? Got one for one side and the other for the other side. So it's like, if it's like this and then it goes down like this, well, you trace that.
It makes you wonder if his
You know, it goes for
abusive,
the driver's
controlling
side.
stories of his
Then you go on the
ex-wife's
passenger
true.
side, well, you just move
or
the
not.
small end over to this
And
one.
maybe that's just self-projection. Don't know for sure. Speculation. But like to talk about his wife was a mean woman and controlling and abusive and blah, 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 blah. And then he likes to talk about how his stepson would go behind fucking stores and do burnouts. But then in the same live, talk about how he used to do it. Listen. We're all young. We're all dumb. For me to look at you guys and say, when I hop in the vet, I don't spin tires and do stupid shit, is a fucking lie. My daddy even knows that. My grandma knows that. For me to look at you and go, I would have never done that. Bullshit. My dad's did worse shit in cars than I've done. Who the fuck taught me how to pull an e-brake and fucking grandma spin a car
That's
around?
not even
My
funny,
dad.
man. It was stupid. That video was retarded. And I don't even know why they wasted their time doing that.
And you drive special needs kids around and you use that word.
Right. But maybe he feels like